Hey everyone, happy Wednesday. Today's standard that we're focusing on is L.5.3, which says use knowledge of language and its conventions when writing, speaking, reading, or listening. So of course we're doing grammar practice again. Today we are focusing on possessive pronouns. So a possessive pronoun shows who or what owns or possesses something. Some examples of singular possessive pronouns are my, mine, her, hers, his, its. And then plural possessive pronouns are our, ours, their, and theirs. So some rules for possessive pronouns. You use my, your, her, our, and their before nouns. For example, this is my cat. It was her dog. They fed their fish. Is that your cat? And they pet our dog. You use mine, yours, hers, ours, and theirs alone. For example, the cat is mine. The dog was hers. The fish are theirs. The bird is yours, and the dog is ours. Some more rules. His and its can be used both before nouns and alone. For example, he found his dog, or the dog is his. The dog hurt its paw, or the paw is its. Lastly, do not use an apostrophe with a possessive pronoun. You do not use an apostrophe with a possessive pronoun. So let's practice. Underline the pronoun that correctly completes each sentence. So I'm going to read the sentences to you, and you need to identify the correct pronoun. Number 1, an ant has 2 stomachs in blank abdomen. Is it its or our? Number 2, the house with purple trim is blank. Is it my or mine? Number 3, be sure to punch air holes in blank top. Is it its or its? And number 4, we let the fireflies go. Our friends released blank later. Is it their or theirs? Let's check our work. Number 1, an ant has 2 stomachs in its abdomen. We should have identified its as our pronoun. Number 2, the house with purple trim is mine. We should have identified mine as the possessive pronoun. Number 3, be sure to punch air holes in its top. Remember that last rule, no apostrophes. So you should have identified its, its, as the possessive pronoun. And then we let the fireflies go. Our friends released theirs later. We should have identified theirs as the possessive pronoun. Let's go through a few more practices. Now you're going to write the possessive pronoun that can replace the underlined word or words. So I'm going to read the sentence to you, and you need to decide which possessive pronoun makes sense for the underlined words. Number 1, a snake sheds a snake's skin when it outgrows it. So what can we replace a snake's with? Number 2, Zara and Ted explained that the rat was Zara's and the hamster was Ted's. So there's 2 words underlined. We need to replace Zara's and Ted's with possessive pronouns. Number 3, the class and I spent the classes and my time watching them work. The classes and my is underlined. We need to replace it with a possessive pronoun. And number 4, she saw army ants marching to and from the army ants colony. The army ants is underlined. What can we replace it with? Let's check our work. Number 1, a snake sheds a snake's skin when it outgrows it. We should have replaced a snake's with its. So our sentence would say, a snake sheds its skin when it outgrows it. Number 2, Zara and Ted explained that the rat was Zara's and the hamster was Ted's. We should have replaced Zara's with hers and Ted's with his. So our sentence would say, Zara and Ted explained that the rat was hers and the hamster was his. Number 3, the class and I spent the classes in my time watching them work. We should have replaced the classes in my with our. So our sentence would say, the class and I spent our time watching them work. And number 4, she saw army ants marching to and from the army ants colony. We should have replaced the army ants with their. So our sentence would say, she saw army ants marching to and from their colony. So that's all the practice for today. If you have any questions, now is the time to ask.